People, this is your boy Little Rock. Today we don't enter Mandela Garden. We're the inside Asaba International Airport. And not only that, today is Mandela birthday. So we're here to celebrate and commemorate the versioneer, the desert warrior. This man I carry in leg, enter motor from Obodo Yubo, take on reach Nigeria. Now great man, the man will enter the Guinness Book of Record. This man don't work with many governors, presidents, so on and so forth for the world. And today, we're inside Mandela Garden. I beg, join me as we go inside. We'll show them many things. We're inside this Mandela Garden. Trees, animals, and the rest of them. Also, we'll get talk with the founder, which is Desert Warrior. He nicknamed as Desert Warrior. So we'll have interaction with them. And other guests, we they invite to come here. Once again, my name is Little Rock, and you are watching RichKingsTV. Follow us for Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Like our channels and our handles. We will be right back. Thank you very much.
We appreciate you so much. We appreciate the presentations that you have made, and we look forward to seeing you again next year.
Congratulations, sir, for the wonderful opening celebration today. And we're happy with you. And we appreciate the effort you've gone so far with what you're doing. Please want to know how you got the vision of this Mandela Garden? How did you get the vision?
It came from the commemoration. I attended the United Nations Convention where the commemoration was initiated and celebrated. And the protocol that came out of that commemoration stated that monuments should be built around the world that will help to spread the vision and the journeys of Nelson Mandela. Because if we have a fewer human beings that will emulate the life that this man lived, 67 years of his life, he dedicated to the emancipation, or for the emancipation of his people, depriving himself of virtually everything, including the family, that if the world can identify many more like him, that the world will be a better place. That was how, and I was there listening, having followed Nelson Mandela from his arrest to his imprisonment. I felt I owed it a duty for being there at that time. So I rushed back to Nigeria and prepared what you have here today and took it back. And when they saw my design, they were rattled. And that was how I got the endorsement. Then I know your next question will be, why Asaba? Why Delta State? Before then, when I celebrated my 75th birthday, I planted trees in Lagos to commemorate 75 trees to commemorate my 75th birthday in a garden that was dedicated by Governor Fashola at that time. And he invited for the ceremony our own governor, Emmanuel Uduagha, His Excellency Emmanuel Uduagha, to the ceremony. And Uduagha made a statement that he had followed my environmental crusade that I carried out in Kano that I did in Abuja and now Lagos. It would be nice for me to bring part of it to Delta State, my home state. So I decided to pocket that statement. So when I had this endorsement, I didn't have to think far. I didn't have to go far in deciding where to take the monument to. So I went back. I asked for an appointment to see His Excellency Emmanuel Oduaga, and I showed him the endorsement. And I said that I said, Your Excellency, you remember the statement you made in Lagos on my 75th birthday? He said, yes. I said, I have something. And that was how the story of this place started. And that was how they donated, almost free, the entire land here for the building of this. And I was so happy that when we finished the first phase, not only that a good number of Mandela's family came all the way from South Africa. His Excellency Governor Oduaga was so gracious that he joined the Mandela family in commissioning this monument.
You're a great man. And I heard how you drove from UK,
UK, yes, London
to Nigeria. What are your experiences and what motivates you to take such a journey?
It's almost similar to the story that got me into this job, this whole building of Mandela Garden. I've always been an activist. I don't know how I got into it. I don't know why I became an activist, but I suddenly found myself in activism. I was joining demonstrations of when it got to during the civil rights movement in London. I was carrying placards denouncing racism, denouncing the arrest of Nelson Mandela, denouncing his incarceration. So activism had already eaten into my DNA. So when I finished my studies in London, and it was during the space race, most civilized, developed world were, exploring the space and then thinking of going to the moon. And being a scientist, I thought of becoming an astronaut so that I can join in the race. But unfortunately, my science qualification did not measure up to the standard required to become an astronaut. And I felt bad. And I then decided to do something that may be equivalent to going into the space. And that was how the idea came to me, the idea of driving my little car that I had from London across Europe, across the Sahara Desert, across the Mediterranean Sea, and across the Sahara Desert to Nigeria. That was how. So you can tell now how the sequence, how I got into becoming a desert warrior, because I think I must have been the first person to attempt such a feat. Not just driving from London to Lagos, but driving alone across the Sahara Desert, yes.
Were you not afraid? Were you not thinking of wild animals, stuff like that?
Okay, I mean, yes, but one, I needed to calculate all the risk I was taking. It took me 6 months to plan. And apart from calculating the risk, I have discovered, before I went on the expedition, I, I read books of explorers, people that had done similar things, not the way I did it. And I found that most of them, some of them did not come back alive. Most of them, before embarking on such a journey, were ready to die for doing something they believed in achieving, or to do something near impossible. That was the situation, that was the position I found myself. That I needed to do something impossible. I needed to do something different. Like, if I was able to go to the space, then I would have been the first African to go to the space. So I was looking, as a young man, I was in my 20s. I was looking to do something. That's where again you can go back to my activism. Like I mentioned, activism was in my DNA, it was in my blood. I don't know how, but that was where I found myself, doing the impossible. Because when I went around different embassies in Europe, about crossing the Mediterranean Sea, in North Africa, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, they all said to me, impossible. And the more they were saying that to me, the happier I was, because my aim then was to do something impossible.
Yes. Well, that's good. That's good. In your earlier speech, you talked about movement with Nelson Mandela. I want to ask, you met him one-on-one, you had one-on-one interactions, were you with him, his race, and so on and so forth?
Well, I did a lot before he was released. I was part, like I mentioned, I was part of the Free Mandela movement in London. I rose to become the vice president of that organization in London. And I was now and then sent to go and find out about those countries that were busting the sanctions against South Africa. So they all knew about me. They knew the role. The family, particularly Zinzi and Winnie and Ndaba, they all knew about the role I was playing. So when he was freed, I think somewhere down the line, my name must have popped into the whole equation about what I did. So when the United Nations decided to commemorate, to declare 18th of July of every year World Mandela Day, they invited me to come along to New York. I went, but I wasn't able to, it was a big thing. And you must have been one of the thousands of people that came to the event. So I wasn't able to see him. But fortunately, the grandson, Ndaba, got in touch with me and arranged for a meeting between him and I. And when I met him, I almost fainted because of the iconic human being that he is. His larger than size stature, his personality, his humility, there is hardly any word that one can use to describe a meeting. I was to now know later that even it wasn't just me, there are people that met him and almost fainted. I had 2 sessions with him. One was during that occasion, and later in South Africa. I met him in 2000. And again, I wasn't as settled as I would want to be. In fact, he was now the one that asked me, well, is there anything you want me to do? And I said, yes, Your Excellency. Then I was looking for a piece of paper to give him where he can sign his autograph. He said, no, go and buy yourself something, a shirt or something, and then he will autograph it for me. And that was how he autographed the shirt.
That's it. Let's come. Statement, June 12, 1964. Okay. Wow, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is beautiful.
So,
Let's get from come get this beautiful one. This one. Wow. This is a map of Africa.
Africa, that's right.
Africa. Wow, this is beautiful. Doctor, you're going to dash me this one, right? Okay.
When I'm done with it.
Oh, yeah, done with it. Now you have to be like Elijah. When I see it, I kept it, right? Okay. This great job you've put in so far. How far has it benefited Nigerians and the people of Delta State?
Well, immensely. This whole place attracts quite a lot of visitors almost every day, particularly the weekends. People come here for retreat. People come here for wedding. People come here for photo shoots. People come here for picnic. And I'm not talking of hundreds, sometimes in thousands. And I think for the state, especially for the support I got from them before I started, it has been a wonderful, the nicest thing that ever happened to me. To see, especially when I see families, children coming here, and sometimes when people point to them that that's the founder of this place, I get a wonderful reception from everywhere. People have been here, dignitaries, ministers, senators, traditional institutions. You can even see some friends that came in today. Those are the things that money cannot buy. That kind of reception that I see, not just from dignitaries, government functionaries, but traditional institutions, money can buy that kind of thing. I live here because of it. I live within the premises because I can't see myself living elsewhere. And I'm hoping it will continue to be that way because we haven't finished, we are still building. When it is finished, it's going to be probably one of its kind in the whole world, right inside the airport. So I will always remain grateful to the government of Delta State for giving me this opportunity to relive my life. Because it's like everything I wanted in life. I am able to live it out here. I'm a builder, engineer. I've lived it out here from what I have built. I am an environmentalist. I have lived it out here. I'm an activist. I have lived it out here. So almost everything I dreamt for in life is happening to me here in reality, no longer a dream.
What have been your challenges so far? This period, what have been your challenges to put on this? You can see the massive structure, massive environment, stuff like that, a lot of things here, like animals, trees, birds, and definitely you must have gone through some challenges, and also as a woman, what have been your challenges to set up this?
Well, let me start with something that is a bit to do with my professional life. As a builder, I found out during construction that this place is a floodplain. And to build on a floodplain, you have to, especially as an environmentalist, I know that once you disturb a floodplain, the flood will go elsewhere. And that's why you have floods, sometimes that you don't expect, or in places where you don't expect them. So when I found out, and as an environmentalist, I couldn't continue to build on floodplain. So I had to redesign the whole concept, and I had to apply a lot of my engineering skill in making sure that I not only save the land environmentally, but build a solid structure that will not have any problem in the future. The second challenge is I'm not getting any younger. In a few months I'll be 88, and I've been trying to bring in institutional investors that will become partners in the development, so that if anything happens to me, I would tell you a quick joke that came from the late Chief Ike Clark, that once you reach the age of 80, you go and collect your boarding pass and go to the departure hall and wait for your plane to come.
Really?
So I have collected my boarding pass and waiting for my plane to come. So in order to be able to put this structure, this monument, in a sustainable way, that is, because it's a monument, so to be able to take it into perpetuity, one has to look at what structure you are putting in place, so that if anything happens to me, if that plane comes and I board it, I will do so a very happy man, knowing that what I started so many years ago will be left in the hands of those that will take it into perpetuity.
I have two questions before we close up this topic. One is, how did you got the concept to have it inside the airport? Why not outside the airport? Why not somewhere? Why did you choose? Or is it where the government chose to give to you? Or you choose this one?
It was where the government chose.
And you like it?
Actually, what happened was, when the governor then called the commissioner for lands, Patrick Ferrife, Honorable Patrick Ferrife, he said to him, go and show him land that we can give for a project like this. If you can't find one, buy one. Unfortunately, this was the first, so he had a number of places in mind. But fortunately for me, this was where he brought me to first place. And he said to me, we should go and look at the other one. So I said, no. He said, no, but His Excellency said we should. I said, no, that this is okay with me. Why? Because it is inside the airport. All over Nigeria, there is nowhere you can find a recreational facility like this inside the airport. So first of all, I was starting something, the first of its kind in Nigeria. Even if you go around the world, I doubt if you can find. So for me, especially if and when this place becomes an international airport, you can imagine what it will provide, what it will be providing for travelers, for tourists, for people that are moving. So that the uniqueness that goes with it, that you can't find in any other place. And that, for me, is a novelty.
Thank you very much. Your final word for young people like us and those who are coming, what you have for them, what can you say to them?
That is where I will go back to the theme of today's celebration. It is in your hands. That's the theme. And it was mentioned a number of times today during the ceremony. It is in the hands of the younger ones. They should start asking themselves questions. What am I in this world for? We are the whole planet is a stage, and There is nobody that is immortal. We all must go. When, we don't know. How, we don't know. But I find that the younger ones hardly ask themselves questions like, what am I in this world for? What have I been created to be or to do? Who am I? Not just by name, but who am I in character? So every time I meet younger ones like yourself, that's what I try to put across. Who are you? Have you been able to ask yourself that question? What am I in this world for? What is there in my, my hand? And am I around to touch lives? Or just to be just there for me and my family? And that's where I go back again to the lives of Nelson Mandela that gave 67 years of his life. He lived to be only 92, but he gave 67 years of that 92 to the emancipation of his people, and for that he went to prison for 27 years. Let every young man think about it. Let every young man think about this wonderful man and begin to find out what made him into and how much of him can I emulate.
What shout out you want to really give to people out there? Your family, relative, friends, you wish them, what do you have for them?
Read my lips. If I may borrow from George Bush, then we read my lips. I think I have a number of things I can point out to that they can emulate, that they can follow. I don't want to mold anybody. I don't want to mold anybody in my image. But look at what I have been able to do in life. Have I been able to offer leadership? I read your questions very well, and I'm thinking that your next question may be, what would I want to be remembered for? That is a question I have difficulties with, because I know that when it is time for me to board that plane, and I do, people will then begin to say things about how much lives did I touch during my 88 years, or if I live to be 90 years, or the lives I have touched matters a lot to me. Most of the young kids that are here today are going to be touched, not so much by Mandela, but so much by the man that remembered a ceremony like today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You're welcome, Doctor. Thank you. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
My name is Little Rock, and you're with RichKingsTV. Yes, can we meet you?
Exactly. Arkansas.
Yeah, it was when I grew up, I knew that there's a city called Arkansas in US, but I didn't know about it from the beginning. It was
Interesting.
when I started trying to go to US and make one or two moves. There's a place called Little Rock, Arkansas. I said, wow! Though I got the name when I was about 12 years old, without even knowing there's something like that in somewhere. Yes. So, can I meet you, sir?
I am Leroy Chuma Edosian, Ubilikanko of Asaba, Ubilikanko Ahaba.
Can I pronounce it very well?
Ubilika Nko. Nko, yeah.
What is it?
Ubili is a species of palm, very, very tall species, much taller than the one you see behind you there. Palm is unku. This is our oil palm. Okay. So ubili ka unku, that is the ubili tree which is superior, which towers over the oil palm tree. So it's a title that connotes a towering figure, a towering personality, excellence, and everything that goes with it.
As you're speaking, I'm just feeling some vibe inside of me. You've known the desert world.
I've known him a few years. He's someone, apart from knowing him like one-on-one, someone that is known to the whole country for many, many years as a result of his exploits and his outstanding personality. I'm attracted to him for various reasons. They are all tied up, His vision is clear for all us to see. His exploits are also widely publicized, nationally and internationally. I mean, you've got to respect somebody who's crossed the Sahara Desert once, not to talk of twice or three times, You've got to admire, his work, his contribution in the construction industry in Nigeria, and his vision for the country. I mean, just look around you, look at the Mandela Gardens. When you look around you here, you see what is achievable if all of us in Nigeria could share the same spirit, the same enthusiasm, the same passion, the same vision, the same dynamism, the same creativity as Chief Dr. Newton Jibunoh. This place speaks for itself, and this is what we want to see of Nigeria. Well, clearly this is somebody who has courage. It's somebody who has resilience. Okay? It's somebody who you can categorize as an achiever. So those are the first things that come to your mind. That somebody gets up and say, look, I'm going to do this. Despite the odds, despite the naysayers, you just have the belief in yourself. So it's quite inspiring. Yes, he is. He's demonstrated, it's clear to see. The evidence is there for all to see. The documentation of his journey to and fro. You look around you, you see even the vehicles he traveled in. It's all there. And you say somebody has done this, yes. And he continues to do that. At his next birthday, he's going to be 88. And see him looking strong, still pushing, still working hard, still driving, still wanting to achieve more, still inspiring others. It's stupendous. Well, the first thing to recognize is the outstanding personality that is being honored today. To the best of my knowledge, he's the only one that the United Nations has dedicated a day to, Nelson Mandela Day, which we are marking today. And Nelson Mandela, he personifies some of those attributes that I've described in relation to Nobodo, Dr. Newton Jibunoh. First of all, courage. The courage to stand for what you believe in. Endurance. The endurance to face persecution, endure it to the end and not give up. The same way Nobodo, Dr. Newton Jibunoh, demonstrated endurance in multiple crossings of the Sahara Desert. Nelson Mandela displayed persistence. That you persist. Despite some people will say, okay, just give up. You say, no. You persist in the battle. Okay? Both, before he went into jail, during the time that he was in jail, and after, he continued to demonstrate that persistence. And then resilience, that ability to go through all of this, come back and bounce back stronger. Okay? In the same way, Dr. Jibunoh faced all these tough challenges, and at the age of 87 going to 88, He's bouncing strong. He's demonstrated resilience. So Nelson Mandela demonstrated all these features, which made him one of the world's most iconic leaders, an outstanding personality, respected all over the world. And through his work and in recognition of the personality that I've so described in Nelson Mandela, Dr. Newton Jibunoh has championed and propagated those personal attributes as things that leadership and followership, politically, economically, socially, culturally, in Delta State should emulate. These are the things we want to see in people who are leading us going forward, not just in the political arena, but our cultural leaders, our socio-economic leaders, our entertainment personalities, our television stations, and so on.
What is the final work of Delta State?
The goal of Delta State is for us to champion the sort of things that Nelson Mandela stood for. Nelson Mandela stood for peace. He stood for compromise. He stood for live and let live. He stood for unity in diversity. And these things are very, very important in a state like Delta, which is multicultural, multi-ethnic, multinationalistic, etc. So if we could take those from Nelson Mandela's life and apply them to how we govern this state, how we coexist in this state, how we drive this state going forward, then we would have achieved a lot. Well, by talking about it, by promoting it in my own social media handles, as I have been doing, by explaining to people that, look, Nelson Mandela Gardens is not just a garden, okay? It is a message. It is a culture. It is an icon, okay? So yes, it's a garden in the sense that, there are trees and plants here. But can we keep the rest of Asaba and the rest of Nigeria as clean as this place is? Can we maintain it? Can we maintain our infrastructure the same way that this place is maintained? The gardens are well manicured. Even the animals are well cared for. The air here is fresh. Everything. You come in here and you just look at the ambience. Okay, in a country where infrastructure decay within months or a few years of being set up, you come here, see how long it's been around, and it's still the same. It's even getting better. Okay, so it's not just garden. It's selling us messages. Okay, it's representing values. Okay, and these are the sort of things that I would like to see carried across beyond the borders of these Mandela Gardens. The youth of Niger Delta should look at the sort of things that Nobodo has achieved, and also look at the sort of things that Nelson Mandela achieved in his own lifetime. These two personalities, in different ways but similar ways, have very strong messages, for young people. Nobodo was not 88 or 87 or 86 when he crossed the Sahara. Okay, there is a friend and old classmate of mine who is currently on a bike from London through the countries of Europe, across the Sahara and down to Lagos. He's currently doing that. I think he started off in Ireland and is now in Hungary. So we want young people to think of such adventures, okay, because they help to promote the country. They help to let people know outside the country know that, look, there's more to Nigeria than 419 and fake drugs and credit card scams and so on. So it is not only in the world of academics and Afrobeat that we can shine. The youth, there are so many ways you can carry the flag of the country. Dr. Jibunoh carried the flag of Nigeria when he was crossing that Sahara Desert, and he continues to do so. So yes, there are messages when you look at the life of Mandela and the life of Dr. Nelson Jibunoh, messages that youths can learn from, absorb, incorporate, practice, and carry forward.
Time will not permit, sir. There's a lot that but we're going to close the curtain for today. I really appreciate your time. Thank you very, very much. Also, we're going to invite you to our station. I want to one-on-one with you and stuff like that.
Okay.
Viewers, this is RichKingsTV, and I'm seated here before Professor Chief Odoze and a nobleman. And today we're inside the Mandela Garden to capture what is going on and tell the world one or two things about Mandela Garden. Also the founder. So viewers, follow us to the studio as we continue from this point. Once again, my name is Little Rock and you are watching RichKingsTV. Follow us on all our social media handles, Facebook, WhatsApp, TikTok, Instagram and YouTube. And subscribe to our channels. We have a lot to give to you. Thank you very much. Today you're in the Desertification Nelson Mandela Arena in Nigeria, Asaba. Can we know you, please?
I'm Andy Ogochukwu Eguyenga. I'm a professor of zoology, immediate past Vice Chancellor of Delta State University. And he's not just a friend, he's a brother. He's in fact a third cousin. He's from Akukwibo and from Atuma. Through the mother's side, we relate. And you know, he's a sage. He's somebody who Nigeria should celebrate. And today is Nelson Mandela's birthday. The world has declared today Nelson Mandela Day. So I'm here to celebrate it with him and then to give impetus for his campaign for the environment, which has been what he has done for so many years, all his life, dedicated to campaign for the environment, protection of the environment. So I planted a tree today in commemoration.
Wow.
Thank you.
So right now, what can you say about the people's interest towards this environment?
Well, it's growing. It's growing. It's not going to be achieved overnight. I can see the people are getting more interested. You can see young people delivering wonderful poems about the environment. And then we believe that environment sustains everybody, defines everybody, and will hold the hope for the continuation of the world and peace in the world. So anything done for the environment is very worthwhile. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Little Rock and you're watching RichKingsTV. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Little Rock from RichKingsTV. Thank you. Please, can we meet you?
I'm Dikin Okezio Dugala. I'm the Deputy Director of the Federal University of Petroleum Resources Center for Sustainable Development, Afro Delta State.
Thank you. How far and how well you've known the Desert Warriors?
Yeah, this is about 10 years now. Because I had to look for him as a civil society leader in the state and also running an NGO that is into environmental sustainability. And having read much about him, his expeditions, 1, 2, 3 expeditions across the Sahara Desert, and what he stands to do. His contribution to environmental sustainability in Nigeria, because you know this was the man not just driving across the Sahara Desert. He was the one that greened Lagos State and the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. And the Delta State government invited him to come down to Delta State because he's from Delta State. And this place was provided by the state government, and he started to replicate what he's done in other parts of Nigeria and other parts of the world. So we came down to reach him. Specifically, that was during one of the World Environment Day when we planted trees in the Asaba International Airport. So from there, it has become an inspiration to us because we got to have literature, books written by him, and materials to understudy him. And when we started the Center for Sustainable Development in the Federal University of Petroleum Resources, we made him our first fellow and champion for sustainable development.
So far, you've been working with him. How do you enjoy working with him?
You see, Chief Dr. Newton Jibunoh is, I see him as a gift to humanity because there are not many of his kind. At 87 years, his passion for the environment is very uncommon. You see, we are here in Nelson Mandela's garden. This is one of his, the evidence of his work. And you see, if our society will be like this, most of the environmental issues we have, deforestation, pollution, waste mismanagement, and all the environmental abuses we find in society will not be. So I think it's better for people to just come around here, begin to see his works, and from there it becomes a learning tool. If we can replicate this across our communities and cities, then we will live happily and live better. Because first, when you live in a green environment, you feel nature. And this is the way God created the world, you know. And you appreciate, you see, there will be a kind of peace that will evolve from your internal self. You know, and you can see here, you see rare birds coming around, you know. So God has created a world that the creatures you relate peaceably. But when you go outside this place, you see the troubles. How humans have abused the environment, and you begin to see chaos. So this is the Garden of Eden that was mentioned in the Bible, and he's an architect of it. And I must tell you again that he's not just an environmentalist. You know, he's the founder of the Faith Foundation, fight against desert encroachment in Africa. He's also an engineer by profession who worked large part of his life in the engineering sector. This is the man who was the man that led the construction of the first Niger Bridge. This was the man that led the construction of the tallest building in Nigeria, the United House in Lagos. And so he was the first black man to become managing director of Costain West Africa. So he has taken both the engineering knowledge, added to what his love for nature, to replicate what he has done. And I think coming from Delta State, he's an ambassador of this, not just Delta State, the Niger Delta region. Because if you know the Niger Delta region, the issues we have here are issues of environment because of the many years of oil and gas exploration and the human mismanagement of the ecosystem. So all over the world, the Niger Delta region has been known to be a spoiled environment. And that's why you see that it has led to a lot of restiveness from the youth, militancy. And having Dr. Newton Jibunoh at 87 years still driving environmental advocacy, not just in words, but in action, means that we are blessed. And I think some of us that are coming behind him is just to follow his footsteps and see that the future generation begin to also key into this very critical aspect of our living.
Okay, sir. So far, this vision in Delta State in Nigeria, how well has it impacted the life of people in Delta State?
Yes, it has impacted people. If it has not impacted, I can't be here because I've been an environmentalist for almost 35 years. And every time I will come here to meet with him and to say that these are some of the thoughts I have, and he will guide me. And that's why you see that we have done some projects in the areas of tree planting in the state. We are doing a lot of advocacy for us to maintain and sustain the environment. And as I speak to you now, I'm having a partnership with the Delta State Ministry of Environment to start for the first time in the state the Delta State Environmental Sustainability Award, where we want to identify people who are working for the environment, not just individuals, but companies that are doing the right thing, companies that are environmentally friendly, so that we can say give them a reward, and that we use that process to encourage other people to take it up. That the environment you must maintain and sustain, because if you don't do that, the environment will fight you back. If you build a house on the waterway, or you mismanage your waste and you block the natural water drain, you get flooding. And when the flooding will come, what happens? Your house is devastated, and it can even lead to death. We need to do advocacy. We cannot do advocacy without bringing the media, which you are. What you're doing already now is also contributing to make the advocacy go to the people, because the media is very critical. You must use, there are mediums you can use to carry out the crusade. So we begin to say there is a place in Delta State that you need to come here to see for yourself, and not just to see, but to replicate it. Because if you come here and you see, what have you seen here? Just green areas, trees planted, and you will see rare birds, flora and fauna, or, cohabiting. So if every community has this kind of place, or you go to your house and you do this kind of project, because one, the kind of air you breathe here is different from what you have outside. Because the trees, there's what they call carbon sequestration. You, as a normal human being, you bring out you breathe out carbon dioxide and you take in oxygen. The trees takes the carbon dioxide and there's a process, a scientific process, and they will give you oxygen. So the air you have here is different from a polluted area, because you have what they call carbon sink. It will filter every thousand. So somebody living in this kind of environment is more healthy than you that is living in an area that is, you have waste dumps, the streets are not clean, foul smells and all that. You can't live healthy and you cut your life short. So the advocacy is that we must marry this advocacy, using the medium of both social media, both the main media, and even going to the communities. That's why we are doing the Environmental Sustainability Award, first time in this state. So people can come and see. He's already partnering with us in this project, and we believe that people must own the environment. It's not as if, there's an attitude now that people see the environment, it's government that should clean. If people want government to come and give them a bath, but that's not what it is. Within your space, it's like somebody who have a cup, you don't wash it. It will be, when you want to use that cup to drink water, you feel unsafe. It's not going to look good. But when you wash it clean and you want to drink with it, you're happy. So when you create the environment and you care for it and you maintain it and you sustain it, you are happy. The difference you see that when people go abroad and they want to take pictures is because the environment is maintained. The environment is clean. But yeah, when I go to a Coca roundabout, you see how people have polluted the environment. They throw their paper bags in their, all kind of waste, and they want government to come and, clean it. But it's your duty, to ensure that you don't do that. So what we're saying that everybody must own the environment and everyone must care for the environment. If we do that, then you see, we live better.
Thank you very much. One more question.
Yes, from my own observation is that the political will has not been too robust. When I mean political will, when I started, I said, this is a man that started the green projects in Lagos and in Abuja. If you travel to Lagos and Abuja, you see the green projects. I think we in Delta State, we should give him more, both moral support and even physical support. you know, at 87 is a grandfather. So we should be the ones to come down to him and begin to take his works and begin to replicate them. I think that's the best appreciation we should give to him. Rather for him now to be looking for us. And again, you know, he has done a lot of projects across some part of the state. People still, when you see they plant a tree here and people see go there and you know, vandalize and destroy this kind of trees that are planted. It's not good. So it must be partnership. Because today the world is talking about partnership between government, the private sector and the civil society. So it must be partnership. We must make him, by the grace of God, you see in his lifetime that the work he started is being taken further. And I must say today I'm happy when I saw the array of school children that came around. And with even the recitation, poem recitation, and speaking to us. Because today we will mark the Nelson Mandela Day. What Dr. Newton Jibunoh is doing here is a replication of what Nelson Mandela stood for. So you see, you must pass the baton. So what I see is that the challenges that was political will gradually is fading off. You know that the present government today in Delta State, the government of Right Honorable Sheriff Borowori, has a component in the MOA agenda that talks about environmental sustainability. So that's to tell you that this present government is interested to see that the Delta State environment is, you know, maintained, sustained, and only government cannot do it. Everybody must embrace it, and all of us must partner to ensure environmental sustainability.
Thank you very much. My last question is, what is
This is my last word for everybody watching this program today is that you must make yourself in your own space an environmental ambassador. 1, don't mismanage waste. 2, plant at least 1 tree in your lifetime. And secondly, you know, be a crusader for a clean, healthy, and safe environment. Thank you.
You are watching RichKingsTV, and it's once again, what's the name again?
The King Okezi Odugala. Odugala.
So, thank you, and we're still with you. Just here to ask questions next time. Thank you.
Keep clapping for them. Keep clapping for them. Oh, put your hands together for them. Put your hands. Thank you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to call on Deacon Okezi Odugala. If he's not eating somewhere yet, let him come and make his speech. Please put your hands together for Deacon Okezi Odugala, Deputy Director, Food Prey Center for Sustainable Development. Please welcome him here. Oh, it's not available. He's going to eat. Okay. Let me call on Dr. Elias. I like that name a lot, Elias. Emeka Elemike, Mr. Triple E, to come and make his speech. He is the director of Food Press Center for Sustainable Development. A very fine man.
Thank you, my friend. I want to especially thank Dr. Newton Jibunoh, the Desert Warrior, for always curating this inspiring moment. You know, each time I come here, I feel realized, and I know when he's gone, we'll celebrate him the more as well. I also want to thank the former Vice Chancellor, Delta State University, Abraka. When he was there as the Vice Chancellor, I know I had a personal encounter with him, and there are some things personally he said to me which I always hold on to. He's a personal friend. Thank you so much for gracing this occasion. And Jibunoh, Mr. Charles, I don't know if I'm correct. Yes, you're welcome. And every other member of the high table and every other person. I really want to specially thank you for finding out time to spend your time here. And I know that the time you're spending here is a very worthy time. And to our young child, they are the future leaders of Nigeria, as we always say. Today we are celebrating Mandela. You have to find out the Mandela in you, because God has created us in our unique ways. It's a question of you knowing who you are and try to create a mark wherever you see yourself. In your classroom, you can be a Mandela. In your home, you can be a Mandela. In the church, anywhere you are, you can be a Mandela. What all of us are preaching in this world today is to have a very decent environment for everybody, both human beings, plants and animals alike, to live. Because without the plants, we cannot stay. We can't feed. The food that you're eating today are from the plants. They are from the animals. So if you don't take care of these creatures that God has given to us, then we cannot live. So what we are to take home today, if you don't have any other information to take home today, is find out the Mandela in you and live it out. And also, I want to, before I forget this, Mr. Kasmir mentioned something about the fourth expedition, and showcase the talent that you have, especially the young chap that gives spoken words. I wouldn't know what your mind is, but if you want Federal University of Petroleum Resources, I assure you, we are going to make you a brand ambassador of Footprint Center for Sustainable Development. So on that note, I want to thank all of you, and I say you're highly welcome for this occasion. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr. Elenike. Please put your hands together for him. As you see him there are a lot of titration. You know how to do titration. Somebody who lectures chemistry. I ran away from chemistry. When the lecturer, the teacher, I won't say this because I don't want any one of you to do that. Little did we know we're actually harming ourselves. Today, STEM education is the education we need to advance our world. And Dr. Elenike is at the forefront of advancing STEM. Science is very, very key to us today. So students, if you want to see the future, you want to become, Dr. Elenike is going to be a professor of chemistry very soon. He teaches chemistry. So put your hands together for Dr. Elenike. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you. All right. While that is going on, I want to call on.
I fall under existing protocol. I just want to use this occasion to come around Nelson Mandela Gardens. I say I feel I'm not in Asaba. The ambience of this place, the natural endowments here, shows that this is the way God meant the world to be. And many years back, you started this voyage. It is visible, the work you've done, not just in Nigeria, but globally. And it's an inspiration to us. We learn every day from your good works, and I want to say that we'll continue to follow your footsteps and to sustain it. I'm really taken aback with the presentations from the young ones, and I have hope for tomorrow that this country has a future. And like Dr. Elias LMK has said, what we're doing at the Center for Sustainable Development at Fupre is that we cannot continue just to think about today, but we must think about tomorrow. So as we interrogate environmental sustainability, we will also ensure that we make life better for the future generation. Sir, thank you so much for what you've started. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Eguyenga, for the good work. I want to thank everyone for being here today. God bless.
Before we do that, let me call on two more persons to say something to us, and then two more performances, and we'll get to that. Then we'll be able to call this event close, bring it to a close. My assignment
of joy, and then I find it so heartwarming. Like, we have history that most times is not exactly pushed to the younger generation as to come. I mean, the history of Nelson Mandela and his fight for Africa, his fight for freedom. From what we heard from the children's presentation, it goes beyond just what he symbolizes or what he fought for. It's a wake-up call to me, to you, as to what we can do now, or we can do today, or we can do moving forward to ensure that we actually live the dream, so we actually keep the flag flying. Looking at it from a finance point of view, we discover that yes, everybody wants to say the world revolves around money or the world revolves around financing. But yes, in our own little space, in our own little corners, in our own little homes, spheres of influence, we can be the Nelson Mandela of our time. We can choose to stand up, we can choose to speak up, we can choose to do what is right, we can choose to actually fight against the ills that hold us as a society, that hold us as a nation. And I just want to also thank our patron for giving Jogos Bank, giving us also the opportunity to, as it were, partner with them. We're always invited, we always come around. And to give him a word that we would also, in our own space, ensure that we also keep the flag flying, support them as at when due, and ensure that, this day or this memorable day we always mark, we make an influence in our lives, make an influence in our society, and also to say that we appreciate what he's doing. Everybody cannot actually do this, but for the fact that he has come out to say, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to go about it. As a bank, as a person, we will also stand behind you and support you and ensure that this day, as long as you mark it, will always remain a memorable one. Not to say too much, I want to appreciate everyone for coming, for your time, and say thank you very much, sir, and thank you very much, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You have done well. Not fear. Nobody wants to charge you money. Just go. You have done well. Your speech saved the money. Thank you very much for representing. We do really appreciate you for coming. Thank you. And now, Mother of Divine Grace Orphanage Home have a spoken word. Can we welcome Mother of Divine Grace School for their spoken word? Put your hands together for them.
Mandela, the man who danced with chains. Good ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ikape Daniela from Mother of Divine Grace Orphanage Home, Asaba. They called him prisoner, numbered like cattle. He was the 116th prisoner of the year 1964. A name turned into digits, but we forgot. You can lock the body, not the vision, not the power. From Tunis white dust, a seed did rise, tall like the baobab with truth in his eyes. A boy who chased cattle under the sultry skies. him the man who taught a nation to rise. He spoke in words they feared. Justice, freedom, peace, not bullets nor bar could make those words cease. He marched with the weight of a people's pain, but still smiled even in change. 27 years, they said, will any soul break any soul? But Mandela carved purpose into every stone. Robin Island, no, that was the forgot where iron meets, silence and dreams will be reforged. Say his name with thunder in your chest. Nelson Mandela Resort, the man who laid his pride not just to rest, but a movement of flesh. He taught us the truth, and now love is the greatest protest. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You can take the microphone away. It's important. Thank you, thank you. You know why? Because what she has done is a shot into the future. In a relay race, the last runner does not run with a different baton. The first runner have to pass the baton to the second runner, to the third runner. The baton doesn't change. And that is exactly what posterity is. What Dr. Newton Jibunoh is doing is actually passing the baton from one runner to another, because the baton has to be passed to the next generation. And if peradventure in a relay race the baton falls, something has happened. The race will either be cancelled or you are disqualified, or you have to find a way to pick up the baton and run again. We are in a generation where we pick the baton to run again. And that's reformation, recreating the future that has been devastated by the errors of the past of our fathers. Today is not my day. My day is coming when I will make my speech. Today I'm an MC. Allow me to be an MC for today. Thank you. Let the fire take over me now. No, I don't want it for today. You see, I want to say to us, it's time for us. We are showing now, and I think we are getting close to when the orphanage to be gifted, and if we are ready, we can take that because we are short of want of time. But let me give the microphone to the man whose name I have miscalled, misjudged, misapplied, and now have to correct it. There must be a correctional constitutional session to correct that name. So, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to pass the baton to the corrector of the corrector.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, young friends, our future. I am particularly impressed with all of you today, the little bit I've seen. And I can't imagine what's left in there, in you, waiting to explode for Nigeria. Like somebody before me said, our future is in good hands. But we also take the responsibility to nurture you so that that future comes alive. Humble regards to my uncle. I don't know what to say. He's family, but I'm always odd. Thank you for everything that you're laying out here. I pledge on behalf of my generation to carry it forth. We will do the best we can to keep that forth. Mandela himself gave of himself to blacks all over the world, but to people all over the world. We celebrate the years he spent in prison, all of the freedoms, all of the yearnings that he did not get to actualize. But we must also celebrate the choices he made. He did not make war. We should celebrate that. He did not join to kill. We should celebrate that. He did not join a group of people to narrate and basically kill Africa. We should celebrate that as well. So thank you.
Very powerful, very, very powerful. It did not kill Africans. Africans unite. Okay, leave me alone today. You spirit of activism. Sha. Good. MC spirit. Coming to the very climax. And let me still do a two. I bet camera. When they put camera for people face, I envy. When I put camera for my face too. My name did the document as speech maker. So it's, let me in fact recognize and welcome myself. Ladies and gentlemen, let's recognize and welcome Civicis Rex Imojite Anigoro, the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor of Delta State on Civic Engagement and Civil Society, to make his speech. Rex Anigoro! All right. Thank you very much, MC, for that introduction. Today I'm just going to make a very short speech. And the title or the theme of this year's Nelson Mandela Day, which is the 16th edition, is "It is still in our hands to combat poverty and inequities." Turn to somebody and say, "It is still in our hands to combat poverty and inequities." It is still in our hands to combat poverty and inequalities, if you want it that way. That is exactly what the theme of this 16th edition of the Nelson Mandela's Day is all about. The Nelson Mandela Day, which began in 2010, was actually announced by the United Nations in 2009. And so we are having the 16th edition of the Nelson Mandela's Day. Like many speakers here have said, this is the 12th year of Nelson Mandela passing. People still converge here to talk about Nelson Mandela, not just here in Asaba, but all over the world. This is because of the impact he has made in the lives of many. And that is why I keep saying that posterity is greater than prosperity. When you live a life of impact, when you live a life for the people, when you choose to live for something greater than you, the world will stand in awe of you. But when you choose to live for yourself, amass wealth for yourself, for your children, you will be forgotten. When you die, you will see people speaking ill of you and even dancing on your graves. May that not be our case in Jesus' name. I am very confident that Dr. Newton Jibunoh will still live with us for a very long time. And when he leaves, his legacy will be remembered even for 100 years. Because we come back here and see the trees he planted. We come back here and see the garden, the park that he built. We'll come back here and see the lives he impacted, the people he inspired. And that is why I keep saying that he's passing the baton to the next generation. And that next generation belongs to you and I. When I saw the theme of this year's Nelson Mandela's Day, I was a little bit saddened. Because I know that the crafters did not just put the word still when they said it is still in our hands to combat poverty and inequalities. I wonder why still was there. Because it means either that we are no longer doing it or we have given up in doing that. It means we have either resigned to doing so or we are no longer wanting to do so. Either we have looked at it that it is impossible for us to bring change to our world, and therefore we are resigned to fate, to live the way we like, or we feel that we are not the people that can do it because poverty is so much on us that all we are looking for is our daily bread. But they said it is still in our hands. It is still in your hands. It is still in my hands. We the people, we the ordinary citizens, not just the government, not just the big men, not just the elites, but you. Talk to somebody and say, you. It is still in your hands. It is still in your hands. That change you are looking for, that greatness that we are seeking, that nation that we seek to see, we can be the examples of that future that we seek to see. And it begins with you, it begins with me. Nelson Mandela was born on a Thursday, July 18th, 1918. And you guess you what? He died on a Thursday, Thursday 5th of December 2013. He lived for 92 years. He gave 67 years of his life to the struggle, fighting for the emancipation of the downtrodden, people he never knew, people he never met, people he never saw. But he believed that an injury to one is an injury to all. That when you live a life for other people, life comes back to you. Today, we are in Asaba. Asaba he never came to, but his children came to Asaba because one extension of Nelson Mandela is here in Asaba, in the person of Newton Jibunoh, and because of that they came to Asaba. You are the next extension of Nelson Mandela. If you take an action today, if you choose to plant a tree, if you choose to go and tell somebody this is the right way to go, you become the future that you seek to see. And that is why I've committed my life to doing that which will bring life to others. And that is why we will be celebrating the Climate Action Fiesta in October. And I'm inviting the world to join me to celebrate Climate Action Fiesta. And I want to say, I began this journey of climate action because one man called Jibunoh Dugala, though not my very good friend now, he used to be my very good friend before, inspired me to take that path. And I decided to study about it, and today I'm doing just well in that route. Just a day ago, we had a very major event on climate action because I decided to begin. It is never too late to begin. You could be 70, you could be 80, but you can begin to do something that is different, that is positive for our world. Choose to be the next Nelson Mandela. Tell somebody, I am the next Nelson Mandela. Say it again, I am the next Nelson Mandela. What about you? Thank you very much. And so, ladies and gentlemen, let's make welcome Dr. Newton Jibunoh and Professor Andy Eguyega to make the presentation to the orphanage. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for them all. Every clap means so much. Thank you.
To the orphanage, some of them have been here before with us, and we always like to, no matter what the theme is, but today's theme is very special, very unique, and very important to the man Mandela that we are celebrating today. This is a monument, one of the many around the world. In fact, at the time the endorsement was given to me, there were a few that came before mine. One in London is a statue like this, and it attracts 3 million visitors every year. Just a statue. And I want to gladden the heart of every one of you here by letting you know that out of the 5 that got the endorsement about the time I did, this has been declared the best. Of all the monuments, even the ones in Joburg, the one in Cape Town, the one in Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, this has been declared the best of all the monuments. So you are witnessing history, because we've been doing this every year for the last 12 years. We decided to tune down this particular ceremony a bit because of what I said earlier on. The Iroko trees that fell on us a couple of days ago. The death of our president, late president, former president, and a very good personal friend of mine, the Abujale of Ijabuland. So, on that note, I want to say to every one of you, please come again. The park is open every day, 7 days a week. And it's a place for every one of us, every one of you, to come for a different type of environment, a different type of life, life with nature. Those were also the values the great man stood for.
I met him, and it will live with me for the rest of my life. Meeting him and knowing him. So without going too far into taking away what Rex started, I would like to invite the orphanage home to come forward and receive, and I'm doing it together with my good friend, my good brother, my colleague, my everything, the Prof, Andy, to make the presentation to orphanage home. Well, I wish I can carry all this so that you can stand up and receive them. But that is the token that we as Mandela Garden is making to your institution. We do this with you almost every year. And we appreciate you so much. We appreciate the presentations that you have made. And we look forward to seeing you again next year. Okay. Let somebody carry them. Thank you very much. Thank you. You want to say something? Okay.
I want to support my father and brother with a token of 100,000.
On behalf of Mother of Divine Grace Orphanage, we say
we actually we didn't know this is going to happen. But the Desert Warrior is the first fellow we have in our center, and he can't be doing such, and we will just sit down. So on behalf of the Center for Development, Federal University, we are supporting the 50,000 naira.
on behalf of Mother of Divine Grace Orphanage, we say a very big thank you to you. I don't have much to say, but the little I have is what I can offer. That is prayer. Thank you very much for allowing us, giving us some education we know about. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much because I've read of the great.
So I will continue for
this place will continue to
many years to come. Continue to bless you guys for what you have done for us, educating us with the orphans. May God continue to bless you. Continue to in Jesus' name I pray. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now we are going to go immediately. Just hold on to the cut cake. You see, Daddy is putting on something very, very significant. You people will not know the significance of what he's putting on. Behind Daddy here, Daddy, gently turn. This is the handwriting of Nelson Mandela. Who, when he asked Daddy, what do you want me to do for you? Daddy said, just write an autograph for me. And Nelson Mandela used his hand to make this writing on this sheet. I know that I will inherit this shirt in Jesus' name.
Amen.
So this is what he did. That shirt you see is worth over 100. That shirt you see. Because Nelson Mandela's handwriting is on that shirt. So what Daddy is putting on now is more costlier than the World Cup that you are seeing. So this is big money there. It is a monument for life. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. Of the cake here, right here. All right, let's coordinate the cutting of the cake. And then pictures. Professor Andy, I'm inviting you. I'll coming to see you after today personally. This one is not seeing you. This one is just citing you. I'll come to see you, sir. Okay. All right. So right now, I want to invite every one of us to come and join Dr. Jibunoh in cutting the cake. Please. Those of you who like cake a lot, stay at the back. Those who don't like cake, stay in the front. I know you don't like cake, so come close. Okay. All right. I know you don't. You like cake a lot, so you probably get millions. All right, cake cut.
Cutting of the cake is a celebration on its own. Just, some of you may not know that the 18th of July is actually Nelson Mandela's birthday. So we are, apart from this celebration of the commemoration, we are celebrating his birthday, which is today. So all of you here, on behalf of everybody and those guests of ours, guests that have joined us in this wonderful ceremony, I want to begin the process. Somebody maybe should do the
when I say new, you say new. When I say thing, you say thing. When I say ma, you say ma. When I say day, you say day. When I say la, you say la. When I say new, you say new. New. Thing. G. Bunoh. Man. Day.
Democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal.
Now it's picture time. While Nelson Mandela is speaking to us, his spirit is here right now. I can hear him.
It is an ideal
speaking to us. We'll be taking pictures and we'll be arranging pictures. Thank you. When I say new, you say new. When I say thing, you say thing. When I say ma, you say ma. When I say day, you say day. When I say la, you say la. When I say new, you say new. New. Thing. G. Bunoh. Man. Day.
A democratic and free society in which all persons live together in harmony and with equal opportunities. It is an ideal.
Now it's picture time. While Nelson Mandela is speaking to us, his spirit is here right now. I can hear him.
It is an ideal
speaking to us. We'll be taking pictures and we'll be arranging pictures. Thank you. I am more interested in the wine tasting time. That is what I am.